everyone, my name is Chelsea and my Twitter name is ChelseaFlowers5 and my YouTube name is at the bottom, so if you would like to, please subscribe. I'm starting something new in 2018. I realized that we're in the time age where your opinion can be voiced and you really don't have to care what people say. It's your opinion, it's your voice. Do it like you want. You only live once, and I'm starting to actually understand that. I've been opening more and more up. I am a very private person, so you hardly ever see anything with myself, my family, my personal life. I try to keep it to myself. But now I'm feeling we're in the day and age where you can voice your opinion. So that is what I'm doing. And the first review I'm going to do is The Punisher. Netflix is The Punisher. Not any of the movies, it's the TV series. That's how I'm going to end 2017. I'm a little late to the party, but I think I'm going to enjoy it. And you leave your comments at the bottom and just let me know how you like it. Okay. Finished it up last night of The Punisher. 13 episodes. I'm going to try to give a little bit of non-spoilers, but I might slip up and give you some spoilers because I can ramble, and you know, I have my lovely list of stuff that I'm going to try to talk about, but I like to ramble and sometimes it's not going to make sense, and I will probably botch names and words and everything, so just bear with me. It's my first one right now. I'm using my camera and it's standing on DVDs because I don't have a tripod yet. I just thought of this just like last week, so just bear with me. First off, a couple of characters that I really enjoyed on The Punisher. Of course, John Berthel as Frank Castle, The Punisher. He did an amazing performance. He made me feel for him, and you know, I felt sorry for him. And you know, maybe question, you know, do you take vigilante? Do you kill people who have harmed you or your family? You know, it made you question all of that, and that's what I loved about John so much. Micro, he is an amazing character. I really felt bad for him. He was someone was a comic relief. You know, he was the guy in the chair. You know, he was the sidekick, and they worked so well together. John and what is his name? Abon, I think that's how you say it. David and Frank, you know, they just worked well with each other. They had an episode kind of where they were bonding, and it was really funny and almost sad, but it was a really cool experience to watch them bond and share these stories that I don't think Frank's really have opened up to. I don't think he really has laughed besides with Karen Page, which I will get to her in a second, but they were laughing and enjoying, even though they were in just a horrible position. They had each other, and I think that's what made their chemistry just work so well together. And I'm going to bring up Karen Page. Deborah, she really wasn't needed for this series, but I'm glad they included her because Deborah and John, I could see that they had this chemistry that I don't think they wanted to happen on Daredevil, but I'm glad that it kind of showed more in The Punisher. You know, Frank was just a loner, and he didn't have anybody. He had his family completely killed. But you see how much he cares for Karen. I mean, in one episode, you know, he was shaking like somebody was trying to hurt her, and he was shaking like he had to stop her. They have this chemistry and this bond. I don't know how to really explain it, but I don't think they were pushing it because they're not really in the comics of being together. And that's what's great about these TV shows. You know, you can explore outside the comics because, you know, Karen and Daredevil are a thing on the comics, and they briefed on that in season 2 for like 3 episodes, it seemed like. But now it's more Karen focusing on Frank, and I really hope they do a season 2 and, you know, Karen can be more involved in Frank, since I think his killing spree might be ending and she didn't want him to do that. But I think with Frank finally closing out this chapter of his life and hopefully moving on from his family, that Karen and him can explore, you know, having the friendship, maybe exploring even more. But I ship them. I don't know what their ship name's going to be, but I totally ship them. And let's see here, Curtis Hoy, Jason Moore, he did a great performance. I felt bad for him. You know, he was expressing like PTSD. Same with Billy. I don't know his characters. Ben Barnes. They did a good job. Billy Russo. I'm not going to say whose villain name is, which is actually going to be on the internet if you look him up for Punisher. It doesn't give you Billy Russo. It gives you his villain name. So that's a big spoiler right there. And you feel for these war veterans, and it just, I really can't put it to words because I'm not a war veteran. I really don't have much family who has to do with war, but you can tell that they've been affected by this in a way that I can't explain it. Characters I really didn't like. Dina Mondani. What was the point of her being in there? You could cut her out of the first half of the season and, you know, you wouldn't have missed her. The second half, yeah, that was pretty cool. But first half, she was just, ugh. I wanted her gone. I wanted her gone so bad. I didn't care for her. I didn't care for the whole Homeland Security thing. I get that there was a story about, you know, cover-ups and everything, but it didn't smooth well into it. I wanted her gone. And, you know, Hernandez, I didn't like him. The only detective I really liked was Detective Mahoney, and that's because he was from season 2 of Daredevil. And he's went through this whole thing with the Punisher, and, you know, he's just trying to figure out what's all going on. But he was just in one episode, which was a really big downer. The family aspect, you know, there was Sarah Lieberman, Jamie Ray. You know, I've seen her in a lot of things, but she did okay. You could have casted anybody for that role, but I liked how she interacted with David. I had to think for a second. How she interacted with her husband, but almost the whole thing with Sarah and Frank was like pushed, like, oh, look at this, maybe they'll do it. No, I mean, it took a while, but they bonded over something that only them two can relate, is that they lost somebody. They lost, you know, family members to the government, and they just had that bond, and Frank, I think, needed her to talk to for a little bit, other than David. So there was that. Lewis Walcott, that was the kid veteran that I didn't know what the point of his story was, but it finally cleared it up at the end. But every time it was on, beginning, I was just like, I want to rewind. I want to fast forward. I don't care. But then it made sense, and he did a good job. You know, he's a kid that just got out of war, and he didn't know what to do with his life, and he thought shooting the bad guys. You know, gun violence. Which I'm gonna get into that actually next. Next thing is what this show is basically about. Well, I guess sort of what some of the storylines were. Frank finished up what he was set off to do in season 2 of Daredevil. I mean, they like finished that off like 5 minutes of the first episode, and that was the end. You know, he got it done. He burned everything with the Punisher. He got rid of all his guns and everything. He was clean. You know, Frank Castle was dead. He was going to try to find a way to cope with losing his family. You know, he hasn't still gotten over that, and he hasn't talked about it. So the best thing he can do is find a wall, find a hammer, whack, and whack, and whack. He just lets all of his anger and his grief out on construction, which is really cool. But one of his war veterans, Curtis, you know, he helps with the PTSD, and that was, I think, probably like the main story of the series was PTSD. It feels, the show is so good to me because it's so relatable to now. It's scary, but it is relatable. Gun control. That's still a topic that's going to be talked about for years to come because that's just everywhere. Everyone has their opinions on it, and it's not going to go away. That's hit heavy in this. Government conspiracies. You know, everyone's got their government conspiracies, you know, all these secrets and everything, and I'm not going to get into the political things, but that's what's related to this day and age now. And what else is there? I see here cover-ups, the PTSD, the war veterans trying to deal with getting out of, you know, the war. And that's something, I've said this probably 10 times already in this, you can't get over it, you know? How do you cope with getting out of the war? Do you go right back into your life? Do you hide out in a bunker, make your own bunker in the ground? Do you take matters into your own hands? You know, this is what's talked about in the show, and that's what makes it so real. And I will have to say about this. This is probably the best series I saw of gun action. I really don't like the goriness. You know, I've seen the Saw movies, unfortunately. I've seen the Saw movies, and some of them were just like, I want to throw up. I want to throw up. This, it was just so relatable for a TV series, you know. The gun action sequence, oh my. It made you feel like, you know, they were actually shot, you know. Not this little, Pam, oh, it's right here. No. It went right through you, and it was executed perfectly. And obviously it should be, because it's military action. And I think that's what made the show so amazing, too, is how the directors made this look so real for guns and bombings and all that other stuff. The human reaction and the human story for like Micro and Frank and Curtis and sometimes even Billy, you know, that got to me in the show. That's what I really liked. I don't like Dina. I don't care for her. I wish she was killed. I shouldn't have said that. I wish she was, you know, just a little, hey, a couple episodes here, and then not really part of it. But, you know, her story, I just didn't care. Lewis, yeah, I've said this before. You know, I guess they were trying to connect at the very end, but I didn't really care for it. I wanted it to go zzz. But basically, this is Frank being reborn and what he has to deal with. I mean, they're bringing back from part of season 2 where he got sent with one of his missions where, you know, government conspiracy and all that, and he killed somebody. And that's kind of what Dina got involved with. You know, she was trying to figure it all out. And Frank kind of got dragged into it again when it was being brought out with Micro. Micro knew, and he wanted everyone to know the secret. You know, there's all this stuff going on and you don't know, yada yada yada. But it was basically a reborn of the Punisher. And which at first I was like, where's his outfit? Where's his outfit? I get why they waited. You have to wait a really long time to see the Punisher outfit again. But it is so worth it. I mean, it is so worth it. You know, he is recreating himself. It's not the full-blown Punisher costume and everything, but I get why they did it. It's just, it's perfect. It is so worth it. You will I thought one time, you know, this person was going to die. The stakes were much higher. I know it was 13 episodes, but I was like, how is they going to survive this? Which, I think Frank Castle has a little bit of Wolverine in him, because I don't know how he survived half this stuff. It was just, it was so crazy. But it made you feel like something bad's going to happen, and you were like, no, 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 no. It just kept me on the edge of my seat, especially like the last 4-5 episodes. Yeah, 4 episodes. It was just like, I have to go, I have to go, I have to go. Which is perfect, you know, that's how it's supposed to be. Pacing's a little bit slow. I mean, the first 3 episodes, it was just like, do we really need all this? You know, can you speed it up a little bit? And that's why I think some of these Netflix shows are realizing, you know, you don't need 13 episodes. They're cutting them down to like 10. It's just, I was so glad about The Defenders. It was only like 8 episodes. Because if we had to do 13 episodes of The Defenders, I might have lost my mind, because I enjoyed The Defenders, but it's not that good. Punisher is something not really connected to these TV shows. You know, when they brought up something, they were walking in Central Park, and they were talking about, you know, things changing, and you can't control this. You know, they were talking about 9/11. They didn't talk about the Avengers or all these attacks that are randomly happening in the supernatural universe. No, they were hitting more of 9/11, you know? And I think that's what was so great about this show. It's more humanized. I think you should probably check out Daredevil to know more about the Punisher, but really, you just kind of cut out about 10 minutes of the first episode, and then you can just follow along. But on a scale, I'm trying something new. I go, how do I want to say this? Binge watch on TV shows, or don't even finish it. Snooze fest. You need to binge watch this. It takes a while to get involved, but the payoff is so worth it. It is so worth it. It's refreshing. I think this is probably the top 4. You can't touch Daredevil, and you can't touch Jessica Jones, in my opinion. So this is my opinion. Punisher, to me, is the 4th one out of the bunch. Or 4th, sorry. Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Punisher, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. Out of all the heroes, can't touch it. So, let me know what you think of this. I know I ramble. I know it's cut short. I don't know if I'm going to do a spoiler one. I kind of spoiled a little bit of it, but, well, that is it, my flower fans. Let me know what you think. Comment, like, dislike. I will be posting a link to my Twitter, Instagram, Stardust App username, so you can get my viewers up. And that is it for Chelsea. She is signing off.